Hi, I'm Tom from Parlee, and I'm here today to talk about the Taos fit and geometry. When we introduced Taos earlier this year, people thought, wow, this is a really radical design because yes, it is very different from previous gravel bikes. But fitting and geometry aren't that radical, and it's actually really easy to get fit for one of these bikes. So when we designed this bike, what we were looking to add was more stability and more off-road capability than our previous generation gravel bike, the Chibacco. So to do that, what we did, and it's very similar to what people were doing in mountain bikes for a long time, is we lengthened the top tube, we slackened the head tube, and we lowered the bottom bracket. So the bike is longer, it's slacker, and it's a little bit lower. And that makes it a better off-road bike. It's just more stable now. But what that means is the sizing is just a little bit different in terms of how you will fit this bike. And the biggest difference is because of the longer top tube, you need a shorter stem. So if you were, let's say, a size medium in the past in one of our bikes, let's say on a Chibacco, well, you'll still be a size medium on this bike, except instead of, let's say, running a 10 centimeter stem, you might run an 8 or a 7 centimeter stem. And that's really the fundamental difference. It's just the top tube is on average about an inch longer, about 25 millimeters longer. And so you have to compensate for that in the stem. But the handling of the bike was totally designed for that. So it's totally normal and the way we intended the bike to ride. So the other thing we did with this bike, and you can see, is that there's a lot more standover height. The top tube has a lot more slope than first generation gravel bikes like the Chibacco. That allows for better handling in technical terrain. But it means in some cases that you will have more seat post exposed than you might have had on your previous bike. But that's totally normal. So we've got a really cool flex fit system here that allows for fine tuning of the height of your handlebar. And we encourage people to run the handlebar a little bit higher on the Taos than you would on a road bike. And that's because you can do more off-road with this bike than you could on a road-based gravel bike in the past. So there's plenty of room for adjustment vertically, and we would tell people to go a little bit higher as a default, but you can certainly match your handlebar X and Y position that you had on your road bike on this bike. So anyway, it's a great riding bike. It's really easy. Even though it looks different, don't worry, your dealer will be able to get you fit and set up very easily on this bike. We added a 6 size, which is really exciting because the fit envelope of this bike has really opened up. The Taos will just fit a lot more riders, and we encourage you to try it. It's a super fun bike to ride.